And we are showing Arena Fate. We just entered closed beta like a few days ago, and we are starting to invite players. And also there on the show floor downstairs we have 40 machines working and people playing the game, and once they finish a game they receive keys so they can instantly join the beta, and we are very excited to be here.
So for those that don't know anything about the game, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so Arena Fate, what it is, it's a mobile game or a team-based arena battle game, which is using the controls and the basics of this new very hot genre, but with few very significant changes. Actually, Arena Fate is more inspired by real-life sports than fantasy RPGs or strategy games or other mobile games, because we have time limit, which is 20 minutes, and special scoring system, so players are not playing to destroy the enemy base, they are playing to have a higher score at the end of the game. And this really changes a lot of how the game evolves and how the session feels. And this mechanic, of course, is supported by pretty much everything else in the game. So the power-up system, the trade system, the game rules are designed to support this football or match feeling. So far, we were very excited to see players trying this for the first time and to see their feedback, and it was seriously positive so far. So we are a happy developer now.
So the game is currently going into closed beta. Is it currently still operating?
It just entered closed beta.
Yeah. So from the kind of previous phases, what kind of primary feedback have you had that has maybe made you change anything significant?
You won't believe this, but there were not any negative feedback that to make us change something. There were some feedback which made us polish things more, and we actually maybe you're asking why was 1 year we showed the game last year, and we are entering beta just right now, not earlier. Partly due to this feedback, we said, okay, let's not rush it, let's really polish it, let's make it a bit more complete, and then release it. So yeah.
So as far as
to put it that way, there were two types of feedback: very positive and very helpful.
It's good. So it's more of what I would call a traditional MOBA. It's more lane-based in comparison to some of the other MOBA games these days. How does your game compare? Do you have single map? Are you going to go for a lot of different maps? Different objectives?
There are objectives on the map, which actually again are connected to the sport idea. So it's very team oriented. If your team is playing and coordinating well, then you'll have some good times on the map, so you'll be able to complete more objectives and have your upper hand. If you are winning the game, and if you start just defending the score until the game ends, then you pretty much make those objectives easier to take by the losing team. And I've seen many games turn in the last minutes. Especially when the winning team decides to just turtle and defend only. Yeah.
So is there only one map available at the moment? Or?
At the moment it's only one map. We have more, but that's the core map. So we would prefer to stick to it for a while and really polish it, maybe changing here and there some pathfinding, some NPCs, objectives, and then open up other maps as well.
So the heroes work slightly different with how their roles work in the game, right? How does that...
What do you mean?
You can kind of choose whether you're going to be an attacker or a defender.
Yes.
Not just off the character, they've got different roles that they can take.
Yes, there are a number of roles you pick in the beginning of the game. So, for example, you could be a sweeper, Sweeper means guy who goes and fights and finishes off the enemies once they are below certain amount of hit points. So the sweepers are very effective at finishing enemies. And there is a breaker, which is very effective at destroying towers. And our towers has shields, and normally those shields take some number of hits to be turned off. But the breakers could turn the shields off with single shot, and then they have 25% higher damage on towers. Of course, those numbers like 25 or something, it's still subject of balancing. But I'm saying this is just to show how big the bonus is. 25% is a lot. So I spoke about the sweeper. So how sweeper works? Just to quote some numbers, for enemies below 30%, the sweepers are doing 15% more damage, which is significant. And we have keeper, which is a guy who defends towers and defends the team. We have raiders, the guys who are just invading the enemy positions, and they are very fast while they move through enemy territories, and they do increase damage on the enemies who are defending their towers. And sieger and so on, and roamer and so on and so on.
So obviously, as we kind of mentioned off camera, it's kind of quite a lot of MOBA coming out at the moment, and you guys are quite far into development. When you see other MOBA with like a feature maybe that you didn't think about, do you ever think, oh well, maybe we should try and adopt something similar and put that in? You know, how much do you kind of try to come up with yourselves? How much do you kind of go, oh that's good, but let's do it our way?
Well, that's a very good question actually, because sometimes we see a lot of good things in other games. There are, super nice games out there, but you cannot put everything in a single bucket. It's you cannot, if you are cooking at home, you cannot open the fridge and say everything goes into this pot. It's just the dish will be awful if you do that. So you have to really carefully select your features and polish them, and once you have this idea, which is quite unique for Arena of Fate, you cannot put let's say pieces from other games like that. I mean, it just kills Arena of Fate. So we have this metaphor we are using to explain what we are doing sometimes, and we are using the same alphabet like in more traditional MOBA games, just the same letters, but we are writing different story. And that's very significant. I mean, yes, controls are very familiar to everybody. The mouse, the format, there are towers, there are minions, but that's it. Everything else is different.
So,
and there is a lot more than this. I mean,
the game is going to be free to play.
Yes.
What kind of monetization are you guys looking at?
First of all, no pay to win. Second thing, no paywalls, no stuff like that. What we really would like to achieve is to create content which players actually would like to have. It's not needed. I mean, they do not need it to be better or to go higher in rankings or tournaments, but they just really enjoy buying. So this is our focus right now. Also a lot of social features and a lot more. It will be announced in the next months.
You briefly mentioned to me before about tournaments.
Sorry?
You briefly mentioned to me about tournaments before.
Yes.
Is there anything more you can tell us about that? How that's going to work out?
Maybe not right now, at least not in depth, but it will be a shame for a game that's inspired by real life sports not to have any tournaments, right? So
have you got any kind of professional teams from other MOBA testing the game at the moment? Is anybody kind of involved?
Yes, we do.
Can you name any names?
No.
That's fair enough, that's fair. So final thing, what is it that separates your MOBA from everybody else's? Why should we play Arena of Fate?
Watching and playing Arena of Fate is watching and playing on the FIFA World Championship Finals. That's what's the idea. In other games, all the thrill, all the sport element is reserved for the top 5 players. Everybody else, they wish to be there, but they just can't. I mean, it's not for everyone. It's very demanding, very difficult, and so on. In Arena of Fate, everybody could feel like they're the sports star. They're on the field, on the stadium, and So they can touch, they can get this taste of sport glory.
in the superstar.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for that.
Bye.